Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Subtle Data, the point-of-sale integration partner that brings the point of sale to the point of decision. We are now starting our presentation. Please have a seat or join us at the Motion booth to learn how you can bring your point of sale to the consumer. Good morning, everybody. My name is Richard Bagdonis with Subtle Data. Today we're going to be talking about changing the way we do retail by bringing the point of sale to the consumer. Subtle Data is a platform company that has integrated itself into several point of sale systems. What we allow you to do is layer on point of sale applications that don't reside on your traditional point of sale terminal. What that means is you can get out from behind the register and bring the point of sale to the consumer. So every retailer has critical space at the front of the store dedicated to point of sale. The reason why, in years past, we have to check the people out at the front of the store. We have physical terminals that are into our network, and unfortunately that space is dedicated to long lines and checkout that doesn't have any increase in revenues for your company. What we're talking about is reducing your physical space up front, increasing your profit per square foot, and taking the retail experience to the consumer. A lot of us have a lot of problems with showrooming in the retail space. Customers are bringing mobile devices in, and they're interacting with your competitors in your store. If your sales associates are not equipped with technology to combat showrooming, your sales are going to go down. That is just a fact. So what we're talking about doing is taking the point of sale to the consumer. This happens to be the Motion CL910 with SlateMate. The CL910, as you can see, as compared to your traditional retail experience, is a very small footprint. Not only is it a small footprint, but it can also be mobile. It can be brought to the consumer, and you can actually showcase items that are currently not in stock, but in the warehouse. So not only can consumers purchase items from your showroom, they can also purchase items that are not currently available. It could be that the jacket that you only have in a size large, I'd like a medium. Well, with an integrated point of sale application, you can have consumers purchase both from an e-commerce tile by selecting products that can be shipped to store and shipped to consumer, or the items they have. The Motion CL910 with SlateMate has a credit card swiper that allows us to take credit card payments right there with the consumer. So what we're talking about is eliminating the space up front that is dedicated to a cash register and moving it to items that you can actually sell. The other thing is the last experience that your consumer has is the payment experience. And if that is a payment, your consumers won't come back. If there are long lines up at the front of the store, your consumers are going to drop items and walk out of the store. So if you can eliminate that by simplifying things by going to a mobile retail environment, still keeping your point of sale system. We're not talking about getting rid of your point of sale system. We're talking about enhancing it and adding one mobile device, two mobile devices, three mobile devices, and seeing what works. You don't have to burn the boats to get mobile point of sale. The problem that a lot of us with mobile point of sale is that consumers are using their phones for showrooming. That's an obvious one. And your IT departments are looking at the difference between retail provided devices for your associates and bring your own devices. There's a great problem with bring your own device in the fact that you can't control what devices your employees have. So your associates have devices that you don't control. The applications that are on there, the security, everything else is something that is out of your control. So what we'd like to do is have purpose-built mobile technology that can be deployed in your store. The other thing is, and we talked about it, is the fact that you're asked by your point-of-sale company, if you want to go mobile, to rip and replace. Burn the boats and go 100% mobile. That's extremely expensive. And it's not just the hardware and the software costs associated with that. There are operational costs when you talk about going and retraining all of your staff on a new point-of-sale system, moving to an environment that's completely mobile. If it doesn't work right, you can disenfranchise your employees from the point-of-sale system, and they're going to communicate their frustration to your consumers. The other thing that's really nice is that with a mobile device, you can put a single mobile device in one store and test it. You can change the application and move it to another store and do A/B testing to see what works, choose what is best, and continue rolling out in that environment. you'll spend in your marketing department millions of dollars to have your consumers come to your showroom to look at your products. What you don't want to do is have a problem that stops them from purchasing. If the lines are too long, you'll walk out. If anybody has been at a Best Buy at Christmas time and seen the long lines and said, you know, I'll buy this later, I'll buy this tomorrow, and they may actually leave and go to another location, potentially your competitor, and they won't purchase the items from you. You've spent the millions of dollars, attract the consumers, make sure that they have the payment process and the experience together. In some cases, Rooms To Go and other furniture retailers have a 25% abandonment. That means that 1 out of every 4 people that come in to purchase leave without purchasing something. If you can recapture that, you can actually increase your sales just by eliminating the cart abandonment issues that a lot of retailers face. In some cases, during peak times at Home Depot, you'll see 12% cart abandonment. That is an amazing amount of percentage if you can recapture it. A lot of retailers look at mobile point of sale and they think it's a very difficult conundrum and it's a very challenging issue because you have PCI, data synchronization, point of sale terminal technology, mobile technology. How does it all integrate? The other issue is that you have bring your own devices where you're asking the associates to bring in mobile devices to work with your consumers. That's a recipe for disaster. Training associates on new checkout procedures, if you're doing it nationwide, is going to have a huge impact on how your sales are going to function. And changing the associate's role from simply checking out to a consultative approach is one of the best investments that you can make. If you can bring additional functionality and features to your consumers, if they're looking at a TV and you have a new associate that hasn't been through a lot of training, you can offer catalog information, specifications, and recommendations on which equipment fits with it, so your new employee can actually make consultative sales and sell not only the TV, but the speakers and the receiver that make it a full, complete package. And the beautiful thing is, with things like, with things like hip printers from Epson and other companies, you can actually have receipts printed out directly at the store level without having the associate walk back to the cash register. So, why are so few of the retailers going mobile? If you talk to your point of sale company and you say, we want to go mobile, they have one product to offer you. And if you don't like that product or you don't like the price, you don't go mobile. That's a big challenge for retailers. And if you go to your ISV and say, I want to do integration, and I want to have mobile technology that integrates completely with payment, loyalty, rewards, and ordering, your ISV is going to tell you it's going to take 18 months and several $1 million to complete. And of course, a point of sale is a cost center for your business. With Subtle Data, this is the first time we're taking your cost center and making it a revenue-generating piece of equipment because we are taking and making additional sales with mobile technology. The other thing that we talk about is the store layout. If you move the cash registers to mobile and you bring the the payment system to the consumer, you will capture additional revenue from that consumer because you'll be able to make recommendations in the store where the product exists. And of course, if you get rid of the deployment failures that happen when you do a widespread rollout and you can roll it out smoothly and softly, you have a better chance for success. So, the reason why I'm here talking to you today is Subtle Data has built an integration platform that plugs into existing point-of-sale systems. We expose that point-of-sale system to mobile apps with a very lightweight API architecture. It happens to be that our partner Motion makes the CL910 with SlateMate. It is one of the finest tablets that you have because it's got a built-in credit card swiper. It's ruggedized. You don't have to wrap it with a large, thick covering, which takes away from the aesthetics and the beauty of it. So your associates have a very lightweight tablet. They have a stylus that you can use for checking out people with a credit card receipt, and it's got an integrated barcode scanner, so you can actually scan the items rather than have to work out how do I activate the camera and all the other problems that you have with some of the iOS devices. Your key customers, if they have your mobile app and they walk into the store, Subtle Data has set up geofences around your store, so you are notified when the consumer walks into the store rather than the typical procedure, which is you know who your best customer is when they're leaving. You have no way to increase your revenues with your key customers if you are catching them on the way out. And With Subtle Data, your ISV can build a solution in a matter of days to weeks rather than months and years. This demo was built in 4 days using the Subtle Data system. Not only can you actually do things like pay cash and pop a cash drawer, you can also use a chip and pin device. We happen to integrate with Verifone. We have 4 or 5 different receipt printers that you all find in your stores with, and all of this was done in 4 days with only 2 people writing software. Your ISV is going to love the fact that with Motion and Subtle Data, you can have a solution that can be deployed quickly, and you can change it based on the store layout. When you look at the diagram on the screen here, you'll see how in a heterogeneous environment, so you may have multiple locations, and each location may have a different point of sale system. Trying to munge reports together to find out what items were sold in real time is a nightmare. Subtle Data brings all of that data together in a single data format and allows you to do instant reporting against your entire inventory, sales tracking, consumers, loyalty programs, so that way you can choose on the other side what devices receive what features. So you can have loyalty programs for consumer phones, you can have payment features if people want to do mobile wallets and check out in the store. You can also have inventory lookup, SMS messaging to notify people for offers. If somebody is walking down the street and your app is open, you know they're within range of your store, and you can offer them offers to incent them to come into your business. And what that means is you can bring mobile to your consumer no matter where they're located. One of the big pieces that tablets have is the fact that tablet, the device that I have, the screen is tiny on it. If I want to look up competitive information and show specifications and features, I have a very hard time interacting with it. When you have a large tablet that you can show really rich video content, information specifications, you are able to have a more consultative conversation with your consumer. You have a deeper interaction, and that makes for a better payment process, ordering process, consumer process all together. And when you combine in-store shopping and catalog shopping in one device, your consumer isn't sent to another website to go buy something. It's all integrated into one, and your e-commerce engine can be integrated into your point of sale, so all reports are run against the same system. And when you bring the consultative approach to your consumer, you get rid of a lot of the showroom, and that happens because they just can't find the information themselves. So we talked to one of the example merchants that were looking at doing mobile, and they were told that it was going to be an 18-month and $1.4 million project to get started. And as we said, we took a lot of the things that they wanted to do, and in 4 days we put together an application that you can demo at any of the corners here at the Subtle Data and Motion booth. So it's understandable that getting started is one of the hardest things to do. We're going from 0 to 1. You have one store that you need to roll out with. You have one tablet that you need to roll out with, and Subtle Data and Motion Computing are your partners that will work with you. Please find one of the people in the blue shirts to talk to Subtle Data. The red shirts are Motion. We can come to you, bring a solution, and work with you to design a mobile strategy. If you have any questions, feel free to grab me or any of the folks here at the booth, and I appreciate your time today. Thank you very much.